This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth. Today is Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. I'm reporting to you here on a morning of what many are calling a catastrophic rail strike in Canada, because Canada's rail freight traffic has just come to a standstill over a labor dispute. The standoff could cause economic damage and supply chain problems for businesses and consumers in Canada and the US. You've got Fertilizer Canada calling on the feds here to take immediate action to prevent this stoppage, but unfortunately it has already happened. The reason why they are concerned is because Canada rail stoppage is now poised to disrupt the entire sector of agriculture in North America. This stoppage could derail harvest for farmers all across Canada, and it's not just your food that is at risk. Railway work stoppage could spark new boil water advisories within days as well, according to this industry spokesperson. So Canada's rail stoppage is absolutely unprecedented, and it's affecting the American sector as well. Now, speaking of the Americans, I'm sure many viewers of this channel are already well aware of the fact that this man here, Bill Gates, is America's biggest owner of farmland. I reported on this back when this came out 3 years ago, how he, as an individual, was gobbling up all of America's biggest chunks of available farmland. But what you may not know about this man is that while he was also doing that, well, as of 2024, Bill Gates is also the largest shareholder of Canadian National Railway Company, CN Rail, with 14.28% ownership stake throughout the Cascade Investment LLC. This is an investment firm solely owned by Gates. Additionally, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Trust holds 8.6% of shares outstanding, making Gates the largest individual shareholder of CN Rail. So one must ask themselves, why is this man, who is gobbling up all of America's farmlands, also simultaneously trying to control the very supply chains that would be able to distribute food throughout North America while he's gobbling up all the farmland? Well, perhaps this could be a slight clue into what this man may be up to. Did you know that before there were baby formula shortages, Bill Gates was backing lab-grown breast milk? A nationwide shortage in baby formula in the US is making its way into Canada as parents are beginning to panic buy, which is causing emptier store shelves, leading to a very worryful trend for new moms. This comes in the wake of the FDA shutting down Abbott Laboratories, a baby formula manufacturer who says they're safe and they're not responsible for what the FDA claims. But despite an investigation that concluded this, the FDA shut them down anyways 3 months ago, to which the effects are now being felt. Meanwhile, in the lead up to all of this happening, Bill Gates has been funding and backing a company called BioMilk, a biotech company which is developing lab-grown breast milk, ladies and gentlemen. So again, is this a problem reaction solution type scenario that is being set up with this Bill Gates rail-owned strike? Folks, we're going to talk about all of this and much, much more in this video, guys. But really quickly, just before we do, I'd ask that you check me out here at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. If you appreciate my efforts to bring you this info, guys, here you can sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution. $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever is within your means is very greatly appreciated, guys. I can't continue to go on and do this work without the support coming directly from you, the viewers. So if Press for Truth is something you appreciate, please consider checking that top link in the description below on whatever video platform you're watching this on today and support my efforts financially here at Press for Truth. All right, guys, let's jump right into this. Here's how the American sectors are going to be impacted, but most importantly, Canada is the world's second largest country by area, and it relies heavily on railways to transport grain, automobiles, potash, coal, and other goods. The railway transports about $380 billion worth of goods and commodities annually, and rating agencies Moody's estimates the simultaneous stoppage could cost the Canadian economy $341 million per day. And again, forget about what this is going to do economically, but what is this going to do to the grocery stores and the price, the impact not only on the prices, but on what's going to be available on the shelves. Because Canada is the world's top exporter of canola, which is used in food and biofuel, and of potash fertilizer. As well, it's the number 3 wheat exporter, guys. So while a lockout or strike would directly involve 10,000 Canadian employees of the railroads, not those in the U.S., it would have a knock-on effect of the U.S. economy due to these countries having crisscrossing rail lines. And I want to show you this. Here, Stuart Smith is a professor of agri-food innovation and sustainability at the University of Saskatchewan, and he says that a simultaneous stop of both major rail networks is the worst thing that could happen to the country's food supply chain. And I'll remind you, it did just happen this morning. This is exactly what we're dealing with. He says so much of the food that ends up in our grocery stores is moved by rail. He says all of that is going to grind to a halt. He says the work stoppages could lead to empty grocery shelves, similar to the height of the COVID-19 84 pandemic. Both Canadian railways move $1 billion of goods per day. Grain and fertilizer and lumber would be among the products most affected, the industry group says. And again, I'll remind you, it's not only food we're dealing with here, but individual municipalities' water supplies could be affected as well. Supply chain disruptions brought on by this week's railway work stoppages could give rise to new boil water advisories across Canada, this chemical industry spokesperson says. And that's because local governments rely on chlorine and its derivatives to treat their water. And while Moffat says the typical water authority keeps between 10 to 14 days worth of those chemicals on hand, well, the only way that they can transport and replenish these supplies legally is via rail. Doing it by truck is not an option. So to make matters worse, that 2-week timer didn't start this morning, Thursday morning, he notes, because potentially hazardous chemicals like chlorine are not allowed to sit on the tracks halfway to their destination. So those supply chains began drawing down early in anticipation of this lockout, meaning there may only now be just days left for some before stores begin to run low. The clock's ticking before municipalities will have to start issuing boiling water advisories. He said it's not 10 to 14 days from this morning, guys. We're talking about 10 to 14 days from a week ago. So this is huge. This is absolute crunch time. And as I said, we're already aware that Bill Gates has been gobbling up all of the U.S. farmland, seemingly in anticipation for major disruptions in our food supply. But here he is being, gobbling up CN Rail and the very supply chains that would provide this farming food that he is also gobbling up. I mean, it's absolutely insane. This is why I pointed this one out earlier, guys, where in this video, Dan Dicks at Press for Truth looks at the factors that are causing the baby formula shortages and how Bill Gates is funding a solution for all of this, while also pointing out that there's a global food shortage looming and how Bill Gates is the largest private owner of farmland in the U.S. Do you think this is a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen? I think not. If you have not seen that video, I will put a link to that in the description below. It's incredibly important information for you to see. Also, this one, guys, a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed my friend Curtis Stone in this one. They want to control the food. Will the next flu psyop be aimed at farmers? Henry Kissinger once said, who controls the food supplies controls the people, and who controls the energy can control continents, and who controls money can control the world. Well, he knew that in order to be able to control the people, you have to control the food. And the current march towards their desired levels of total control are well underway. But what is that going to mean for small-time farmers, folks? This is an important video for you to understand about what's coming down the pike. And also, in regards to that, you have to get prepared. I mean, like I said in this video, it's beyond crunch time right now. If you are not actively working towards having a self-sustainable food supply, then you're already falling behind. Because we're well beyond the point of, having to fend for ourselves here. We cannot rely on the government. We cannot rely on the banks. But guess what? We can't rely on the grocery stores either. And I know this sounds daunting to most, but it's really just a matter of diving in head first and taking a stab at it and starting small, and then, gradually expanding on that. So if you are currently working on this today, congratulations, you're ahead of the curve more than most. But if not, guys, as I said, it's absolutely crunch time. We are looking at a possible catastrophic food and supply chain breakdown right now, unless things are resolved extremely quickly. But again, these things are going to continue. And unless you stay 2 steps ahead of the curve, you're going to be, left absolutely screwed for you and your family. So this is of the utmost importance today, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I wanted to bring this to your attention. Also, this one, if you haven't seen it, guys, make sure you check it out. I'll put a link to all of this in the description below. But all of these articles here that we're saying this is going to be bad, if this happens, it could derail harvest for farmers, it could do all of this. Well, as of this morning, folks, the strike has happened, and it's beyond crunch time. So we're in the thick of it right now. Again, you have to stay 2 steps ahead by not being reliant on the grocery stores. So if that's something you understand and agree with, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section below of this video. Just wanted to bring all of this to your attention, guys. Not a lot of people are even aware this is going on, but if they are, they're not aware of the fact that Bill Gates is the guy who's not only been gobbling up all the farmland, but he's the major single shareholder of the very supply chain mechanism, CN Rail, one of the companies that are involved in this current dispute. Crazy times, folks. Just wanted to bring all of this to your attention. Once again, if you appreciate my efforts to do so, don't forget to check me out here. Subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. Once again, $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, whatever is within your means is very greatly appreciated, guys. Again, I can't do this work without the support coming directly from you, the viewers. So thank you so much to everybody who does take a minute or two today to check that top link in the description of whatever video platform you happen to be watching this on today. And that's all for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please share this video, click that thumbs up button, and stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.